Hey guys, Ivan here at ivanmena.com. In this video, I want to show you how to create Gmail campaigns inside of Google Ads. So Gmail campaigns are going to look something like this in your basic Gmail account. It's going to be under the socials or the promotions tab. So it's going to have an ad right there. It's going to say ad and it's going to have the message. So you're going to have this headline here and then the description. And then if you click on it, I'm sorry, Ipsy. You're gonna have the image here, again, the headline, description, and the call to action, okay? And then that's what it looks like, and that's what we're gonna create. So the website we're gonna be using is this one, Ted's Woodworking, which we created in the previous video. If you want to know how to create landing pages that look like this, I have a video showing you how to create a 53% conversion rate landing page using Unbounce. So take a look at that and you can create something that looks like that. So let's head over to our Google Ads account. You might or might not see, a bunch of campaigns here. That's just something I created for previous videos. But we're gonna click on this little plus sign here and we'll click on Create Campaign. We're gonna click on Website Traffic. We're gonna select Display over here, and then we're gonna select Gmail. And we're gonna enter our website URL. So what I like to do is, because we're promoting an affiliate product, I like to use a third-party tracking tool, in this case ClickMagick, so I can see what converted and what didn't. So I'm gonna head over to campaigns here. I have a dedicated video on how to set up tracking, so check that out. But I'm just gonna quickly go into URL Builder, and I'm gonna build out my URL, and that way when I start sending traffic, I'll be able to see what converted and what didn't. So in this case, I'm gonna say Google, and not in all caps, I'm sorry, lowercase. For the medium, I'm gonna say Gmail, it's a Gmail campaign. For the campaign name, I'll say Ted's Woodworking, and we can leave it at that. We can describe our Gmail ad later on. So over here, for example, for the term or for the content, we can say add one and then we can describe it. But this is the URL we wanna use because now we will be able to track and see where we got the sales from. So we're gonna head over here, we're gonna paste it right here. We'll click on continue, and now we're just gonna fill in the blanks. So over here, we could say Ted's, this is Ted's Woodworking campaign. Location, we can obviously set the targeting here. So we wanna select this option, people in or regularly in your target location, don't select this one. And we're gonna click on enter another location, and let's suppose we wanna enter Canada, we wanna enter United States, we wanna enter Australia. So here we're picking just the top tier 1 countries, right? So that's United Kingdom, and Australia, United Kingdom, Canada, what are we missing? New Zealand. So we're gonna click enter, and there you go. We're targeting these people, and we're targeting people that are only in these countries, right? So not someone that's just searching for example, Ted's Woodworking Canada. So we can do that. Languages, we're gonna leave it at English. So ideally what you wanna do is you wanna target based on conversions. If you don't have any conversion data yet, you might wanna start with clicks. If you wanna learn how to set up conversion tracking with Google Ads, I do have a video, check it out, I'll link it in the description. But when you first start, you'd probably wanna go with just clicks. So we're gonna go there. For the budget, you can set any budget you want to. Again, this is a common question I get. The more you spend, the more data you get. There's no right answer. I believe the minimum is $1, but it'll take you a long time to get data. So maybe if you're just starting out and you're tight on budget, maybe 10 bucks. But if you are doing online marketing, guys, I do suggest that you have a job, you have some income coming in. Don't just rely on this, because this will take some testing and experimentation to see the results. So next, let's go down. You can click on additional settings. These aren't super important. You can play around with them, like ad schedule, start and end dates, devices. Nothing super important that should be mentioned. You can just play around. But what I do like to do for this option here is I like to say do not optimize for ad rotation. And this will allow me to see the results on my ads and then make the changes accordingly myself. So I don't have to rely on Google to show the ads that have more impressions or more clicks. I'll be the one to make the decisions based on conversion data. So I like to say rotate ads indefinitely. So let's scroll down. Now for the ad group name, I'm gonna leave it blank for now. What we're gonna do first is select our targeting, and then we're gonna select the ad group name. So over here, you'll notice that, there's only people targeting. If you saw my other videos on Google Display Ads or YouTube campaigns that we've created, you'll notice that there was a content field. So we could target specific YouTube videos, specific websites. In this case, you don't have it because these are Gmail campaigns. So they will only show up like over here in the tab, right? Only Gmail. So we can only select people. So let's go from top to bottom. So the first option here is audience keywords. So we'll be able to target people that have searched for specific keywords or that, have a history of looking at websites with certain keyword themes. So in our case, it's giving us suggestions here. So we can say woodworking plans, plans woodworking, right? We can add all of these. And so now our ads will be shown to people, right? It's not content targeting, it's people that show an interest in these keywords, in these kind of topics, right? So we can leave it at that, or we could delete it and go with other targeting options. Let's just leave that for now. And let's go to audiences. So we don't have any kind of sort of remarketing audience here. That's going to be this option right there. If you select audience, browse, remarketing. I do have courses on remarketing at ivanmana.com/all-courses. But if you don't have any sort of remarketing yet, you will be able to go with these really three options. Custom audiences is like a combination of different audiences that you create. But let's go from top to bottom. So the first option here is detailed demographics. You'll be able to target people based on parental status, based on marital status, education. So cool things like that, depending on the product you're promoting, this might come in handy. So for example, like some Valentine's Day product, or maybe, dating and relationship tips and advice. Maybe you want to target people that are single. So things like that, take a look, play around with it. Next, we have affinity. So for this option here, affinity means people that have shown interest in a specific topic. So in this case, it's Ted's woodworking, right? So honestly, I don't even know what category Ted's is. What we can do is we can go back to search and let's type in woodworking and let's see what kind of category this tells us. Yeah, so maybe this is in market, in market, in market. We'll get to in market in a second. I'm trying to see if there's any affiliate or affinity audiences. So here, could be home and garden, could be do-it-yourselfers, could be home decor enthusiasts. So we could target some of these and we could try it out. There's no right answer. Like I said, it's up to you to experiment. But that's basically what affinity is. So you're selecting people that Google deems is interested in these topics. So we're gonna go back. The next thing here is in market. So in market is people that are actively shopping for something. They're in the market for something. So for example, if you selected market audience, you can select people that are in the market for example, cars and vehicles or for business services. So in our case, again, I don't know what category woodworking would be. It would be like home, like we saw home decor. So if we type in here, if we type in woodworking here again, we will see, for example, in market audience. So here we could target people that are in the market. They are buying home and garden supplies, or they're buying home and garden services. So here, garden sheds and outdoor structures, maybe this could be a good option. So here we'll be targeting people, and let's remove this single that doesn't apply for us. We'll be targeting people that are in the market for these things. So Google noticed that they went on specific websites that was selling some of these products. And that's who we'll be targeting in addition to people that are interested in these topics pertaining to these keywords, okay? So that's the idea. You could look around, or again, if you want to go to browse and just kind of look through everything yourself, there's many options. So in this case, this is home and garden outdoor. So maybe we want to go scroll down and look for home and garden. We want to click on this arrow here and we want to just look at these options, maybe home furnishings, and maybe, maybe we can find something of people that create their own furnishings, because for this product we're giving them 40 free woodworking plans that will allow them to build out a bunch of stuff. Okay, so that's the idea for in market. And by the way, life events, we didn't do that. Oops, sorry. Let's minimize this. Life events is basically people that are undergoing specific events right now. So home renovation, job change, marriage, moving, anything like that. You can target if you are promoting, for example, I don't know, let's say you're a moving company. You would probably want to target people that, for example, are about to move, moving soon, for example. Things like that, right? And that's pretty much it for this audience targeting. So again, you're just targeting people based on their interests, so they're in market or life event situation. Now, just to take a sneak peek at custom audience. So this is an audience that I created. If you click on custom audience here, you can create your own list. So for example, woodworking fans. And then here you can target people with these specific interests that you write down here, or people that searched for specific terms on Google. So people search for example, wood, that, let's say woodworking projects, for example. I just want to do one idea. So here, for example, woodworker tools. This probably isn't relevant because we're not promoting tools, we're promoting projects. So let's see if we can type in woodwork projects here, DIY woodworking projects. So you will be targeting people that searched for DIY woodworking projects on Google. I think it's like in the past 30 days or so. So a really targeted field. Now we can remove this and we can get, term ideas based on our website and based on other searches that we have here. So this one is good, like all of these are good. And now we're going to be creating people, this is going to be DIY wood building projects, for example. Okay. And we're going to save this audience, and now we can target this audience. So we're going to target it, and now we're promoting all of these options, okay, and people with these keywords. So this is too narrow. Let's see if maybe we can remove this. Let's see what the results are here. Yeah, so for the custom audiences, you are not going to be able to see an estimate. So even if we remove all of this, notice how over here, when you hover over, it says 500 million to 1 billion estimated people a week. Over here, it doesn't give you anything. That's because it's a custom audience. I don't know why it doesn't show up when it shows up here. But just because it doesn't say anything on the right-hand side, what I'm trying to say is you will still be able to see the estimates right here, okay? So that can still work. So we can target these people. And again, let's go back here and let's add some of these keywords. And that looks good. Let's click done, okay? So this is our targeting, for example. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we missed. Yeah, one more thing, demographics. You can target by age, gender. Now, Ted's Woodworking, I believe, is more so tailored towards males, but you can leave it as on and just take a look, go in there and see, you know, what the results are. Just because you're going to show your ads to women and they're not going to convert doesn't mean you can't turn that off later and say, hey, you know, I'm getting this age to convert better than this age, or I'm getting this gender to convert better than this gender. You can make the changes as you go. So you can leave everything on for now. However, if you're super tight on budget, you can definitely turn it off right away if you know that some age or gender is converting better. So if you know that, you know, 45 to 65-year-olds plus are going to convert better and it's mostly for male, you can leave it at that if you're tight on budget. If you're okay with some experimentation and seeing the exact kind of details of this, then you can leave it on. So let's suppose this is what we're doing. So now for the ad group name, we're going to create an ad group name that's going to be relevant to this, right? So we can say, for example, keywords. We can say DIY wood projects. Then we can do 2 slashes. We can say custom DIY wood projects. We can do slash, and then we can say male 45 to 65 plus. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm giving a name to this ad group that's going to reference all the targeting that we did, because later on, once we start duplicating these ad groups and trying out new things, we want to be able to quickly take a look at the ad group name and be able to tell what is contained within it. We don't want to have to click on every single ad group to be able to tell what the targeting was, right? So that's the idea. So that looks good. Let's minimize this. And we're almost done here. So let's click on conservative automation, or this option here, automatic targeting. You can select what other people Google will show your ads to. So if you select, for example, no automatic targeting, that means Google will show your people only to the people that you selected. That is it. If you select aggressive, it's going to show people to the people that you selected, but also Google is going to use their algorithms to target additional people, more people that they think are relevant to people that fit this criteria. And if you go with conservative, it's going to be, you know, kind of the middle ground. It's not going to go too much. It's not going to be too aggressive, but it's also going to stick more so to people that you selected. So the next option we have here is the ad group bid. How much are you willing to pay per click? I like to start low. You can always increase it. If you start high right away, like say $1, generally for these types of display campaigns, you're going to be paying way less per click. So you might exhaust your budget in like 30 minutes in this case, right? I don't know how long, but it's better to start low and then increase your budget than to start high, exhaust your budget, and then there's no going back, okay? So put it at low, maybe, you know, 10 cents, see how it goes. If you're not getting any clicks, okay, increase it a little bit, or even impressions, okay? Increase it a little bit. If you are getting way too many clicks, maybe you can even decrease it some more and you can save some money and just see how it goes, okay? But that's what I would say you would do with the bid. So the next thing we're gonna do is let's create an ad. So I'm gonna click on new ad. You have different options here. You can copy existing ads. So if you click here, you'll be able to select the other ads that you created. We don't have anything. You can create a Gmail ad, which is what we normally do, and you can upload Gmail ads. Now, I've never used this option. I can't say much about it, but what you would do is if you click on upload new ad, you'll be able to select a file. It's gonna be like a zip file that you're gonna have. You can upload it here and it's just gonna pre-populate basically with all the information. Now, we're not gonna go with this option, so I'll click cancel, and we're just gonna create a basic ad, which is what probably 99% of you are gonna be doing. You'll just be creating an ad from scratch. And so this is where we're gonna fill in all the details. This is what our ad is gonna look like, exactly as you saw right here, okay? And then this is on phone and this is on computer. So you can take a look and we're just gonna go down the list. So the first thing we're gonna do is enter the business name. In our case, it's Woodworking Extreme. That's what we named this landing page. So we'll say Woodworking Extreme. Next, we're going to enter the headline. So the headline, like it shows you what it's going to look like, right? So you obviously want to make it eye-catching because that's the bold part and that's the first thing that somebody sees. So, you know, we can say free 40 woodworking plans or something. Free. And again, I'm pretty sure it's actually 50. It's not 40, but in the book that it showed, like as a screenshot, it said 40. So we're just sticking with that as an example. But I'm pretty sure it's actually 50. But let's just continue with what we kind of had going on, which is free 40 woodworking plans. Okay, so that looks cool. We have the word free in there and we have the number saying what exactly you're gonna get. For the description is gonna show up right there. So right after it is not gonna be in bold, but it's gonna provide a little more information. So maybe we could say, you know, we could maybe copy this, paste it here, and let's just take a look at this. Get instant access to, now we can't have all caps, so I'm gonna change that to free. Free 50 woodworking plans with, and is that what it says? Free woodworking plans. Oops, okay, so I guess that's I have the word with there. Let's remove that. The width shouldn't be there. And 44 of step-by-step instructions. Okay, so that fits perfectly. So you'll notice here that, you know, it doesn't show the whole thing, but you will see the whole thing over here. So don't worry about that. You're gonna see everything. But let's just take a look and see what that looks like. So once someone opens the ad, it's going to look like this. Get instant access to 40 free woodworking plans and 444 pages of step-by-step instructions, okay? So cool, provides a little more information. Next, we have to add the images or videos. So for the videos, you can select, you're going to upload it to YouTube, and then you can select the video here. So for example, if I type in Ivan Mana, you know, you can choose any of the videos, you can select it here, and then if you click save, the video is going to show up right there. Okay, so obviously we don't want to use this video, so I'm going to delete it, but just to give you an idea, that's what it's going to look like, and you will actually be able to play it. That's not going to work. I meant to say that once someone actually in the Gmail clicks the button, the video is going to play. Now we're going to remove that. That is not relevant, so I'm going to click the little check mark there at the top, and I'm going to click save. And now what we're going to do instead is add some images. So I'm going to go over here, and you can allow it to scan the website. What you do need is one image. You need one logo, and then you can have an optional header, okay? So we're gonna go through all of that. So you do need to have a logo regardless of what you choose. Now, we don't have a logo for this product. We can upload one, but what I'm gonna do is for simplicity, we're just gonna use this one, which is like a scanned logo. So I'm gonna click here, select logo, and just click select, okay? And let's imagine this is our logo, but again, for you, you're just gonna upload it here, and you're gonna use it. We'll click save, okay? Now, what we do need is an image that's gonna show up right there and an optional header. So I'm gonna click that button here. We can go to stock images, and for example, let's type in, you know, woodworking and see what pulls up. Google has an integration with stock images, which are very high quality images that you normally have to pay for. At least I think it's like $5 to $10 per image. So there's a free integration here if you're running Google Ads, which is pretty cool. But over here, you can select an image. So let's, for example, suppose we want to do this one. This looks kind of cool. Now you can only use one image dimension. So if you recall, when we did display ads, you were doing a 2x1 dimension, which is a 1.91 by 1, same thing as 2:1, or a 1:1 dimension, and you had to have both just in case Google would show your ad on different websites with different kind of, you know, different spaces allotted for the ads. In this case, you only have room for one. So I can either choose this 2:1 ad, right? Or I can choose a 1:1. So if I want to choose a 1:1, I'm going to deselect that option. I'm going to click 1:1, and then I'm going to drag it here as I want to. Generally, the 1:1 looks better in my opinion. So if we select this and we click select, we click save, here's what it's going to look like. You know, it's up to you what you want to use. If you have a great image that's 2x1, that's great, use that. I think the image that looks better is 1x1. So I would, for example, deselect it, click here, and then maybe do something like that. And I'm going to click select. And in my opinion, this looks better. Now you also have to add a header image, which is going to be at top. Well, it's optional. You don't have to. So we're going to select that option here. And let's suppose we want to use this as the header. We're going to select this option here. So you can use a marketing image, or you can use this header image. And this fits perfectly. It's 1000 by 317 dimensions. You'll click select. Then we're going to click save. And you'll see the header shows up at the top right there. Now, I don't think this looks too good. I think there's way too many images. Maybe what you would want to use is if you have like a special promotion or something, you don't necessarily have like an image, but you maybe have some words saying like, hey, free, you know, 20% discount or whatever, just to get a little more attention. In this case, I think we're fine without it. I don't think that looks good. So we're gonna click that icon here, we're gonna deselect it and click save. And that is pretty much it for the ad itself. Again, make sure the URL is good. We have all the tracking here set up. Again, if you want more detailed tutorials on tracking, I'll put some links in the description. But we will be able to see once we start sending traffic to this ad, whether we got sales or not inside of ClickMagick, the third-party tracking tool. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's keep going down. So you can also add catalog images. Now there is no stock images integration, so you do have to upload your images. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna add some images below this on desktop, or on phone, it's gonna add them, right underneath here. So you're gonna be able to have a collection of images and descriptions, and you can take people to different parts of the website as well. So you can add a catalog, and you can add, for example, different products, and then you can take people to different websites. We don't have anything here, but what it's gonna look like is you'll just have different images here, and like over here on the ad, if we click here, you will see right underneath this, you'll see a catalog of different things that they offer. And when you click on the call to action, you will be taken to different corresponding pages of the site, okay? And that's how the catalog images works. Again, it's not really relevant in our case, but that's what you would do. So the last thing here is let's go to more options. The first option here is the custom teaser. Now, there is really no difference between the custom teaser and the headline. So I'm not really sure, honestly, why this is there. Like if we change this to this is the new headline, you will see that it's going to replace the headline right there. So it's just going to say there. So I don't use this custom teaser. Again, like I don't know why it's really there. It's literally just the headline and description. So we're going to skip that. We're going to deselect it. And instead let's go to the call to action. And the call to action is, well, what the button says. So right now it says visit site. In our case, maybe we could say get free plans. Just get free plans, okay? And now our button's going to say get free plans. And one more thing we can do is change the color. So the color of the button. So let's go back to our website. I'm going to use this ColorZilla extension. I'm going to drag it over the button. And let's suppose we want the orangey button. So we're going to go back here. We're going to paste this color. Now, unfortunately, you do need like the exact color code. So you can't just select the color and kind of, you know what I mean? Like go through the wheel here. So if you are not sure what color code your color is, you can go to google.com, type in, color codes, and there's going to be many websites, similar websites. You select a color and they'll give you the color code, and then you can enter the color code here. So that's how this is going to work, and this is what our ad's going to look like. So it looks pretty cool, looks pretty consistent with our landing page. It's also orangey, and that's pretty much it for the ad. So we can click on add to ad group, and then what we could also do, if you want to duplicate the ad right here, you can click on this option here, duplicate. And now you can just make the changes that you want to. So you can change the headline, the description. What I would suggest is for you not to change everything at once. Don't go in here, change the image and the headline and the description. Change one thing at a time so you know what works, right? So for example, over here, instead of saying free woodworking plans, we can say start woodworking now, for example, okay? And let's suppose that's the new headline we want to test, so we'll click apply changes, and then that's going to be the difference. And by the way, let's click on this ad here. We forgot to change the ad, so at the top, at the end there, see how it says ad 1. Let's use the arrows here. We want to change that and just make it clear what this ad is about. So instead of ad 1, we'll say man drawing image. We'll say free 40 maybe. So this is going to let us know once we see the results in ClickMagick, we will be able to know that, hey, the ad that converted or got the sales was the one with the man drawing, and the headline started with the free 40 woodworking plans, okay? So we want to do that. We're going to click on apply changes. We're going to go to the other ad that we did, and over here it says start woodworking now. So again, we're going to go in, use the arrows, and it's the same image. So you don't want to change too many things at once, like I said, so you actually know what works, what doesn't. But in this case, we could say man drawing, and we'll say start wood, for example. So that's what the headline start with, and we'll click apply changes. And we're good to go here. You can keep duplicating. 2 to 3 variations is healthy. Anything more than that, you better have a lot of clicks coming in daily, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get enough clicks for each variation. So we're going to click on create campaign. It's going to give you a little warning if you miss something like a bid or a title, and in this case campaign already exists. So let's just say here Gmail. Like that. That was a perfect example. Let's click create campaign. And let me quickly show you a few other things, like how to duplicate it so you can test different things out. So first of all, if you go to the ads here, you can copy and paste the ad. So if you click on edit, if you click on copy, And if you paste it, you'll be able to paste the ad right here. Okay, so let's select our Gmail campaign. This one here, we'll click done, and you can just paste this new different ad here, and you'll be able to make the changes to that specific ad. So if you thought that you were good with just one variation and then you went in there and you changed your mind, you want to add new variations, this is how you do it. A simple copy and paste. It might take a little bit to load, and then you can change this out. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it here as is, but if you do want to change it, you go to edit, you change a word or two, and woodworking extremes, and you save ad. And that's the idea. Now, we're gonna do the same thing for the ad groups, right? So now for ad groups, remember, we had our specific targeting here, right? Our keywords, what else did we do here? Yeah, so we did keywords and we did the custom group, right? So we're gonna go ahead and select this ad group. We're going to copy. Wait for it to say one ad group copied. Sometimes it still says like one ad copied. You don't want that, right? You want to copy the ad group. Deselect that, go back here, paste it, and now we're gonna select our campaign, Ted's Woodworking Gmail. We'll click done. And we're pasting one ad group into one campaign. Again, make sure it says that. We'll click paste. And for this one, we're gonna go in and just make a few changes, right? Because if you wanna split test different things, you want to be able to know where to go. So give it a second for it to load, still updating. And then what we're gonna do is all these options on the left here. So demographics, you can change the demographics, the audiences, and kind of all these different options here. The keywords, if you added them. So give it a second. And there you go, it's finally added. So I'm gonna click edit, and let's suppose we wanna change this to, we're gonna remove that number 2. And let's suppose here we wanna target, we wanna target female. And we'll click save. And so then here what we're gonna do is we're gonna select here, click on demographics. As you can see, it copied all the ads as well. And this is the age, but we're gonna go to gender. And over here we excluded, you see female. What we're gonna do is instead we're gonna enable that, and we're gonna exclude the males. And now this campaign is for females instead of males. But we can also go into audiences. We can add in this case, we have here this custom audience that we created, so we can delete it. We can edit the audiences, so we can add a different audience, or we can add more, affinity audiences, in-market audiences. Now, if you select targeting, you're only gonna target these audiences that you set. If you select observation, then you will be targeting everyone that you selected, but you will be able to adjust the bids for these specific groups that you selected. So the best option is, of course, targeting, because if we selected these groups, or if we created a remarketing list, for example, well, we want to promote to only this remarketing audience. We don't want to promote to everybody, right? Everybody on the display network. So we're going to leave it at that. And, well, we didn't make any changes, so either save or cancel is fine. And then if you want to change the keywords, you're going to go to keywords, and we can change the keywords here. So we can go ahead, if we want to test different keywords, we're going to go here. We can maybe delete these. And then instead we could add new keywords. So we're gonna click plus, we'll click add display, okay? And that's how we're gonna add new keywords. And then we go back here, we go into ad groups, and boom, we see all the different ad groups, and we'll be able to see how they converted. And you're gonna see this inside of here, inside of Google Ads. If you set up conversion tracking, again, check out the video. I'll have it in the description on how to set that up. And ClickMagick. So the main thing is in ClickMagick, because sometimes if you're promoting affiliate products, you're not able to integrate it. For example, Max Bounty, there is no integration between Max Bounty and Google Ads. So the only way to track sales is with something like ClickMagick. And you're gonna have all your data here. You'll have the visitors, the actions if you have a landing page with a thank you page, the customers, and all that stuff. And that is it. That is how you create a Gmail campaign. If you guys wanna know how to promote affiliate products on, for example, Facebook, on Google Ads, on YouTube Ads, check out my videos. I'll put them in the description. I have very thorough tutorials where we do everything from scratch, everything from selecting a product to creating a landing page, to setting up the autoresponder, to promoting it on that affiliate network, all right? So take a look at that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.